So I've got the first center point there, and I may not, like I say, I may not use these holes, but I got to get a starting point somewhere, okay? So now I'm going to measure from that one over to the center of this other one, and it looks like I'm 20 3/8 from center to center. Okay, so now I've got to transfer my mark 20 3/8 so I can hold it right there. I'm going to try to line it up as best I can, 20 3/8. And I want it 37.5. I'm measuring off of the floor. The floor has tile on there. 37.5. It's right there. I guess you can see that. Okay? And that's where I can hold this grab bar up there. I'm not going to mark it just yet, but you see, I can hold that up there and think, okay, that's off the floor. Now I could hold a level on top of this and see where I'm at. I could put a starting screw and then hold this one up to wherever, level it, and then put my associated marks or whatever. But for kicks, what if you don't know that's a level? Okay, well, if you have a level, and I dug this up out of the garage too, I'm going to hold this up here. And I've got a level right here. I'm going to hold that on there. See how well they did with the floor. And they're right on. The floor is level. If anything, it could go up, I mean, a pinch, hardly anything. Just at the very top of that pencil line. And, you know, you don't want to take for gospel that your floor is level. If you're on a subfloor or a second floor or something and it's off, your grab bar is going to be off. So here's another tip for you. Depending if you have a flat sheetrock ceiling, we can measure off of the ceiling because generally the ceiling is going to be level and that goes across to your outside walls and all that kind of stuff. If your floor has dipped in the past or it's cracked and whatever, you might get it better that way. So we can measure from the ceiling on down. This is a tall ceiling. I can measure off of there, and I got 82 and maybe 3/8. And over here, let's just see how close we are. And I'm at 82 and almost 3/8 right there. And see, that line is at the top, so that's 82 and 5/16. Wow, that's pretty close. And again, you know, if you're measuring off the ceiling, you got spray texture up there if the tape is off slightly. So if you don't have a level, you could measure off the floor. And let's say if you're off a little bit, measure from the ceiling down, split the difference on them or whatever, and you can comfortably get yourself some marks that way if you don't have a level. The other thing is, if you have a torpedo level, here's a little cheapo torpedo level, 9-inch plastic. It came with a picture, and they also included this to hang your pictures with this. You got something like that, it's just plastic. You know, once I had that one screw there, I could put a screw in there, right? And then I could then swivel this up to wherever it needed to go. Because I already know the starting point over here, then I can hold the torpedo level on there and level it that way. Okay? Several ways to do it. And even if I get it exactly, I'm still going to need to level it when I get done because there's a lot of slop in these holes. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put a screw in here. And it's just going to be for temporary, so I can be hands-free. You know, if I wanted to, I guess I could hold that like that and hold it tight, center to center. Let's just do that. Because what I'm going to end up doing is I've decided to use these long slots, okay? And either way, I'm going to be able to slide it around. Okay, so I can put a mark in there and reach. Now see this slide here, I'm not going to be able to get it because this grab bar is in the way, right? So I'm going to have to use the round hole there. And you know what? I think I'm going to just go ahead and use the round holes because I have those washers, right? I'm going to use just the holes. And I can mark them this way. And eyeball the middles. Like that. Or I could put a sheetrock screw in there. I'll give you another way to do it. I know you always like 2 ways to do stuff, so I'll show you another way.